Here's another one from Yngwie Malmsteen. It's the solo intro to As Above, So Below. A really great one for lots of hammer-ons. There's a little bit of sweeping, like some up sweeping, so it's good. It's not as intensely picked as some of the other things that he's done, so it's a good way of getting into his style. Again, loads of arpeggios. That seems to be his way to go on these sort of things. So without further ado, I'll get going. Right, bar 1. This is all over basically an A minor chord. You've got on the E string, you're pulling off from 12 to 8. And then you're playing 10 on the B and 9 on the G. And to do that, I'm doing a little up sweep. So I'm just like that. Right, the second beat, you're hammering on from 10 to 12 on the B, 8 to 10 on the E, and you're going to do beat 1 again, basically. Pull off 8 to 12 on the E, 10 on the B and 9 on the G. Then the beat 4 you're going to, so that is hammering on from 10 to 12 on the B, 8 on the E, and then back to 10 on the B. And when I do that, those last two notes, I tend to again use an up sweep. So it just saves, it's economy of motion with the picking. Right, the second bar. Same sort of picking, hammering on pattern. This is over a diminished. We could call this D diminished or F diminished. It really doesn't matter. Okay, those notes are pulling off from 13 to 10 on the E string, 12 on the B, 13 on the G. Beat 2, we're hammering on 12 to 13 on the B, and we're playing hammering 10 to 12 on the E. So you've got, then we're going to do beat 1 again, and then beat 4, that's going to be 12 to 13 on the B, 10 on the E, back to 12 on the B. Okay. Bar 3 is going to be the same as bar 1. So that's the same. Right, we're on bar 4 now. Right, again we're going to use this diminished pattern. So it's pulling off from 10 to 7 on the E, 9 on the B, 10 on the G. And again I'm using that little up sweep on the last two notes. Okay, and then that's it. Beat 2 is that. So what we're going to do there is you're hammering 9 to 10 on the B, 10 on the E, back to 9 on the B. And then you're going to take that whole pattern and move it up 3 frets. Exactly the same sequence. So that's again 10 to, pulling off 13 to 10 on the E, 12 on the B, 13 on the G, and then hammering on 12 to 13 on the B, 10 on the E, back to 12 on the B. So bar 4. Right, now a set of diminished arpeggios. The first one has a little hammer pull-off trill. So that's 10 to 13 back to 10. Then 12, 13. So 12 on the B, 13 on the G. Then that's pulling off 10 to 7 on the E. 9 on the B, 10 on the G. Back up to the first position again. Pull off 13 to 10 on the E, 12 on the B, 13 on the G. And then the whole thing again moves up 3 frets, so we're now, that's 16 pulling off onto 13 on the E, 12 on the B, 16 on the G. So that bar all diminished. Okay, bar 6 is going to be a descending A minor pattern, A minor arpeggio. Right, for that you're pulling off 17 to 12 on the E, 13 on the B, 14 on the G. Then, and again, when I'm doing these, I pick down on the first and then a little upward sweep on the last 2 notes. Okay, I'm going to use that all the way down. So the next one I'm pulling off from 12 to 8 on the E, 10 on the B, 9 on the G. Next one, that's pulling off 8 to 5 on the E, and then 5 on the B, 5 on the G. A little bit trickier sometimes, you have to kind of roll your index finger to keep the notes kind of separated. Otherwise what happens is that you end up with, you're going to end up with the notes kind of bleeding into each other. So to try and keep a little bit of separation, just try rolling the finger. Okay, the final A minor arpeggio is pulling off from the 5th fret on the E onto the open string, then 1st fret on the B, 2nd fret on the G string. So that little sequence there. Like that. Then we're going to do ascending diminished arpeggios. So we've got, so there we're pulling off from 5 to 2 on the E, 4 on the B, 12 on the G. And this pattern basically just repeats every 3 frets. So that's 8 to 5, 7 on the B, 8 on the G. Then we've got pulling off 11 to 8 on the E, 10 on the B, and 11 on the G. Then we've got the final one, again 3 frets higher, pulling off 14 to 11, 13 on the B, 14 on the G. Final bar, starting off with an E sus4 arpeggio. So what we're doing there is pulling off 17 onto 12, rolling over to 12 on the B, 14 on the G. Do that again, and then basically it's just a top note goes down to the 16th fret, pulling off onto 12 again, rolling over onto 12 on the B, 13 on the G, and you play that twice. And then I just finish on 14th fret on the G. And that gives you the whole sequence. It's a good one to do. It's like I say, it's a great technique builder. It's great for kind of getting used to shifting positions as well. That's what I found it really helped me with. As well as kind of getting, it's a nice introduction into sweep picking, because they're very small sweeps. They're not too complicated, not too big, and they're with upstrokes. And I always find sweeping up a lot easier than sweeping down. Maybe that's just me. But yeah, I think we'll find that this whole thing is a great thing to try out. I hope you have fun with it.